One password. So, I mean, and this is a great tool. Again, I'm trying to think of tools that no matter what stage of business you're in, this is a win. And let's just face it, keeping track of passwords and then the security involved. And if someone, you hire someone and they stop working for you, you just unshare the passwords with them in just one simple click, couple minutes, and you don't have to worry about going through your entire system. Oh no, so-and-so doesn't work for me anymore. Maybe it didn't end great. And you're like, I gotta go change every single password that they knew. No, this one password just makes this so easy.
You're listening to Gray's Cast, a show that shares the secrets to selling perishable food products online. The show and advice is brought to you by the team at Seven Sons, which is an 8-figure e-commerce business that started completely from scratch. Each episode, we bring you one topic, 3 strategies, and one tangible resource to continue your learning and put you on the fast track in your own e-commerce journey. Let's begin.
Activity is not an accomplishment. Productivity is. That's a quote from John Maxwell, and it's a great way to open up this episode where we're going to be talking about the top 3 tech tools to boost productivity. I'm Brooks Hitzfield with Seven Sons and Grace Cart, and as always, I have Blaine joining us. Blaine, you got some notes ready for this episode?
I sure do. And Brooks, just before we jump into these productivity tools, let's remember the whole point of productivity. It's to free our time up so we can focus on what really matters. So freeing up your time and saving time, it really doesn't get you anywhere unless you prioritize what you're going to be doing with your freed up time. What really matters, not about doing things right, more about making sure we're doing the right things. So I just want to preface, because you can get stuck in the productivity rut. You're just spinning faster and faster on the same hamster wheel and really not going where you need to be going.
And I feel like this information is timely now that we're here in 2021, because coming off of 2020, for those of you who've been doing direct marketing, we know a lot of folks have seen a lot of growth, which is a great thing. But that also comes with growth and responsibility,
more
workload,
more work,
and so you might be feeling that right now. And some of you might even be feeling the need that it's time to grow and expand the team. And something that we always do, though, before we make those steps, looking at making further investments in our team, which really increases overhead, is we try to see where are there ways that we can streamline things and before making that step. So it's actually one of our business coaches who taught us that before you go to make that next hire, you're feeling fully stretched, you're fully maxed, and you know you need to do something different. There's 3 questions that he tells you to ask yourself first, and this helps you free up some of your time. It's kind of a self-assessment. So the 3 go like this. It's, what can I stop doing? Okay, so take an assessment. Is there anything that really is not driving results that you are doing and it feels more like that activity, but it's not actually productivity? Number 2, what can I automate? And number 3, what can I delegate? So here in this episode, we're going to be touching on those last 2 points by helping you automate and delegate some of your activity, hopefully, with some of these technology tools that we have used and had added a lot of value for us at Seven Sons.
Yeah, and actually, it's interesting. If you can find tech tools that save your time, those tech tools become the conduit or the platform to make delegation for easier. We'll talk about that as we get into the tech tools I have.
Well, I'm excited for this one because, we love technology, and I'm always constantly playing around with new tools that are out there. It's kind of like almost like a pastime for us. Haley, who helps out here in the office, doesn't enjoy it as much just because there's always so much technology that we're playing around with and trying to download to the team. But the list here I've made is actually kind of long. I've gone through 3, picked my 3 favorite, and if we have any overlap, I'm going to go ahead and bump down and add one of my other.
All right, so who's going first? Our favorite tech tools, and I want to know.
Go for it.
Okay, so Blaine will go first. Yep. All right. The first one I have here, Brooks, is what we call Sane Later, or I think it's SaneBox is the name of the company. I don't know if you had that one on your list, but this one I wanted to list as number 1 because I know right now every single human that has email can benefit from this. So it's basically a very, very advanced, smart email filtering tool. And it's difficult to explain and grasp until you actually just sign up for the service, connect your email address to it, and literally this thing starts learning on its own. But what's so cool is the real innovation with SaneBox, Brooks, is I think the innovative learning. Oh. You got your watch
That's
going
Siri.
off?
I don't know. You must. Did you get Siri?
I triggered Siri. But basically, the innovation with SaneBox is the tools. It makes it so easy and quick to train your email filtering and to keep up on it. And so, I started using it 2 or 3 years ago. I think it's a couple bucks a month. It's not that expensive. Would never dream of being without it. I know it saves me time, and it keeps me out of the weeds, and just keeps emails that you want to get. You want it still coming to your inbox, or you don't really want it in your inbox, but you do want it coming to your email and put it in a different folder.
And as you're listening to this episode, a great way to kind of assess, hey, which of these tools that we go through will add the most time savings to you is to just assess where are you currently spending the most of your time.
Yeah.
So if you're using technology now and you feel like you're spending too much time there, so for an email and your inbox, that's a place of detention for many of us because you can get almost distracted with your inbox. It can be a little bit almost addicting. It's up there. It's a distraction that's always popping up notifications every day. And with SaneBox, I know since I started using it, it's just organized the inbox so much for me that I can go in there, to start off the day, clear through what's in there, and then I feel comfortable closing it down for the rest of the afternoon. I don't feel that constant attachment to it.
And the problem with most email filtering is they take too much time to manage. What's the point if you're just giving up the time that maybe the filtering is saving you just to manage the filtering? That's the innovation of SaneBox. It takes very little time to have very accurate and helpful email filtering, so you're not missing the emails that you do need to get.
So the first one I had here is another communications tool, and it's called Zendesk. So this is actually a customer service, kind of a CRM type tool. So it's a way to manage the different questions that you get asked from your customers, whether they come in through many different channels. Because that's the problem that we ran into when we started direct marketing, started getting people asking questions through Instagram, Facebook messages. You got all these different places you need to track things. We're getting phone calls.
Emails, phone calls, text messages.
The list goes on and on. So it made it very difficult to keep track of everything. In fact, it's really kind of a nightmare. Some of the questions would slip through the cracks. You were getting back to people later.
And you have everything connected to your personal phone. Brooks, I'll never forget the day that I walked in the office and said, you're going to take over customer service. I literally went out and bought a new phone, got a new number, plopped my phone down on the desk next to you, and I said, I'm done. I never picked it up again. But the problem was I had become, and that was my fault for getting everything set up on my personal phone number.
Yeah, there's no separation then as well. So this causes even more of a distraction. Not only is it a distraction, but you're not doing a very good job. No one can do a very good job managing all of these different sources for having a relationship and ongoing communication with their customers.
It'll be a better customer experience to get all that organized in this ticketing system.
Yeah, so the way Zendesk works, it's a customer support ticketing system. So it connects to all those different tools. You connect your Facebook account, your Instagram. They have a VoIP phone service in there, so your phone calls come in through there as well. So it literally puts all of your customer communications in one place that you can manage and makes this much easier than to delegate. Because what happens when you start hiring someone to help out inside the office with customer questions, if everything's coming to your phone or all of these different channels. So get it all in one place, makes it very easy to delegate. Another cool tool that they have in there is what they call macros. These are basically pre-written responses that you can include inside of emails. So, we have the same question that comes in over and over again along many different topics. So we probably have over 100 different macros that people can use as these pre-filled responses to common questions. So that's another way that really streamlined our time when it came to customer service.
Yeah, it was a game changer for us when we started using it for us and the customers. What we didn't realize is the other half of the value to Zendesk, Brooks, has been what you just said, training new staff to handle customer service, because that database of macros you just talked about, that's literally like a customer service manual. You just print out or email PDF to someone who's new to you, and then let them, since Zendesk logs all of the communications, phone calls and emails, text, all in one place. Just one thing we do, Brooks, is when someone's new to customer service, we'll let them spend the first week going back through hundreds of tickets, reading our responses, seeing the questions, and listening to the phone calls so they can pick up our voice, how we treat the customer. Zendesk, that was a good one, Brooks.
It's well worth the investment. I mean, there's a lot you can do with the tool too. We even have they have some products on there that we use for self-service support as well. So if you go to our website, sevensuns.net, you're going to see a little help widget in the corner. That's powered by Zendesk. And what it does is when someone goes to email us a question, it will automatically look at what their subject line was and it reads the context of the question. And it will give them help articles that we've pre-written to help answer that question. So we're actually answering support through self-service as well. So if someone asks the question, hey, what do your 100% grass-fed cattle eat during the winter? How can they be 100% grass-fed? Well, we have an article on that, and it will automatically deliver that inside of the widget. So they get their question answered instantly. So it searches that first before sending them to our support team. So that's a way that's also actually deflecting support and getting customers answers faster.
Exactly. Yep.
What's your number 2?
Number 2 is 1Password. So, I mean, and this is a great tool. Again, I'm trying to think of tools that no matter what stage of business you're in, this is a win. And let's just face it, keeping track of passwords and then the security involved. I know a lot of times, Brooks, before we had 1Password, I got really lazy with my passwords, meaning using almost the same one over and over again, or leaving it pre-filled in the browser, letting the keychain keep track of it, where 1Password is far more secure, keeps everything in one place, from credit cards to debit cards to any type of security information. You lock it up in 1Password. And then what's so cool about that is when you have new team members come on board, you can give them shared access to certain credentials that they need access to, so that they don't, you don't have to write down your passwords and share it.
The minute you have someone working in your office with you don't think of it, but like one of the biggest nightmares in the early days is make sure everyone has access to what they need to, and they don't have access to things that they don't need access to. People forgetting their login info. So even if you are giving them access, they're trying to store their own logins, but folks, that's just easy stuff. It's hard to keep track of. So this allows it all to live in one place.
Right. And if someone, you hire someone and they stop working for you, you just unshare the passwords with them in just one simple click, couple minutes, and you don't have to worry about going through your entire system. Oh no, so-and-so doesn't work for me anymore. Maybe it didn't end great. And you're like, I gotta go change every single password that they knew. No, it's 1Password just makes this so easy.
So my second a tool here is another kind of shared tool, which is Google Drive.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't have a cloud storage system that can be shared among multiple users, you're definitely going to need one. So this basically is, instead of us storing files on our own machines, we're storing them all on a shared Google Drive folder that's in the cloud. And that way, basically the entire company, again, and this has user permissions as well, but everyone who needs access to whatever files we have are there. So that is one thing that if you don't have a shared central file storage system, you're going to spend a lot of time going back and forth, making sure everyone
in the old days, this was called like hardware, like you actually had networking
servers,
installed servers in your office, and the whole team could access the server and share files. Now you can just, for a couple bucks a month, you can tap into that type of efficiency.
And that was something that only large corporations had. They took the time, install a server, so that way everyone has access to what they need to, and it's at the touch of everyone's fingertips now. So there's a lot of cloud storing systems out there. There's Dropbox. We like Google Drive because you can set up a G Suite account, which gives you access to Google Drive and their entire suite of products. So you get their spreadsheet tools, their writing document tools, slides, all those, that full suite of products that we're using for business operations constantly. And you can also get access to their custom email domains as well. So what we do is we just actually buy our custom email domains through G Suite. That gets us access to some Google Drive storage, plus all those host of products as well. So if you need a custom email domain, I highly recommend Google Drive or G Suite because of the access that it gets you to these other products. It's well worth the investment.
And it's affordable, and then it scales with you. So, all right, Brooks, my third and final, and again, we use all kinds of tech tools, but these are kind of the top three that we thought would be most helpful. The third one here, Brooks, is Gusto payroll software. Now, we don't use them anymore, but because we now have someone internally here that handles our payroll. But I remember in the early days, Brooks, when we were hiring our first employees, and you're setting them up as independent contractors, and skirting that line for as long as you could, because you had so much, I know as we did, just so much angst about this overwhelming idea of getting payroll set up. How do you handle that, and reporting, getting your dues and fees paid, and your taxes paid to the IRS, and it just felt scary. And we delayed on this for many years until I found this Gusto payroll service, and literally you don't have to you don't have to be intimidated by this process at all. I mean, Gusto Payroll took care of all of the setup and all the quarterly reporting, or however often you're required to report. It streamlined everything. I also streamlined a lot of the hiring process and some of the HR things. So Gusto Payroll is awesome.
Yeah, the hiring steps that it helped with user onboarding was very crucial as well. So they take care of a lot of those onboarding documents, getting those emailed to your new hire and making sure they're filling them out and notifies you when it comes back. Very much streamlines that process and takes some of the questions out of it as well, because of course those people are, in payroll, so they have lots of help documents and documentation tutorials on that as well. So
yeah, and what I liked about it, Brooks, is that it not only is super easy and intuitive to use, but really good support, and that's what you want when you're dealing with something like payroll.
Before I go to my final app to highlight here, let's go ahead and turn over to the Grace Cart Spotlight section of the show. This is something new that we've recently started, but what we do is, a lot of you who are listening to this may already be Grace Cart clients, or it's something that you've at least considered before. So this is a section of the show where we read a recent testimony from one of our clients as a way to say thank you. And along with that thank you, we provide a giveaway. So a lot of times that might be a free book or maybe access to one of our courses. And the review I have to read here comes in from Tim Clarkson. Tim wrote into us, this was actually during the height of COVID, and said, because we primarily sell at farmers markets, our online sales through Grace Cart have seen a 350% increase the last 2 weeks. Thank you for everything you have created for farms around the world. So Tim is from Grove Ladder Farms. Tim, we appreciate working with you through the Grace Cart platform. I know that was a lot of work for us all to get through as we saw that surge in demand to still effectively serve your customers and step up for your customers during that time.
There goes your phone again.
It's my watch.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Tim. Well, we're going to get Tim a book. And the one I had picked out here was, we've talked about on the show before, but would be Evergreen from Noah Fleming. I know last time we gave away Storybrand, which was a great one as well, but this was a book that really had a big impact for us, taught us the value of your current customer and how you can get more out of your current customer. The whole idea of keeping customers evergreen instead of shedding those leaves. You want to try to keep your customers coming back again and again. So Tim, thanks a lot for the support. You'll see that book coming from us. Now back to the final tech tool that I have to review. This is actually a new one, and it is it's my new favorite tool. I tell everybody about it, but it's called loom.com.
Oh yeah.
This is actually really what it is it's a screen sharing or screen recording device. So basically what it does is it works in the background on your computer to where you can record a video of your screen. Also, you can use your web camera to record a video through the web camera as well. But what they do is it allows you to, they do all the video hosting. So as soon as you hit record and you click done, the video processes in just a few minutes or a few seconds if it's a short video, and they give you a shareable link to send that video to wherever you want. So
yeah, let's face it. I mean, almost anyone can figure out how to record the screen on a computer.
Yes.
But the innovation here again, as soon as you're done, it just pops up a link. You literally text that, email that to anybody that needs to see that.
So we're using it constantly whenever I have to contact support for something. If a tech tool's not working right, we hit a bug, I need to contact someone's support team. It makes it really easy just to record what you're seeing on your computer. They get access to all that information to see exactly what's happening. And you'll notice that you'll get much better support when you get in the habit of using this. We actually use it for training and documentation. So if there are processes that we're doing on our machines that you can quickly record, save the link to that and make sure you're sharing it to anyone once you need to delegate that process to someone.
Yeah, if
someone
emails or one of our team members wants to know how to do something, a lot of times the answer is we just quickly get on Loom and just.
If you've been using Grace Cart support recently, you've written into us, you may or may not have seen either me or one of our team members, Molly, using a Loom for support, because it just makes it so much easier to be able to give you, a picture's worth 1,000 words. A video is going to be even more. It's just so much easier to communicate effectively through a video. So that is an incredible tool. Loom.com, super affordable. I think they have a free plan too. That most everybody could get started with.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, this was fun.
I didn't know if it would be helpful to mention a few honorable mentions, because we went through here and these are kind of, we're thinking about tools for those of you who are, spending you're already set up with direct marketing. Maybe you're spending more time inside the office. These obviously streamline a lot of those processes. But if someone's listening to this and maybe they're just getting started with direct marketing, you might find better leverage getting started with some of the core tools that you need to in order to start into direct marketing. So, the two things that you have to have when it comes to selling online that we tell people all the time is an email marketing software to build a relationship with your customers. And then you need a conduit to take sales with those customers. So we're obviously biased towards a certain platform, which is Gracecart, that we've been, custom developed for Seven Sons to help us handle that in a very streamlined process. When it comes to saving time, having those two tools when you just get into online marketing, it's going to help you grow and make you much more effective. We have people come to us a lot of times. That's one of their major challenges when they're looking at something like Gracecart is just they want time savings, something to organize, all the transactions, the fulfillment, the inventory side of things. You spend so much time getting caught up in all of that. So if you're in that position in 2021 is when you're looking at maybe making the investment in one of those tools, we're going to have links to those plus everything that Blaine and I just reviewed at the bottom of this article. So feel free to follow those links to learn more about the information that we've shared today.
Cool. All right.
Okay. We will see you guys next time.